last session we have discussed few definitions in the Euclid geometry. So right now we are going to discuss the next one, which is nothing but the axioms and the postulates. So here the next we are going to discuss now here the axioms and postulates. So this is a new concept for you here. What is meant by the axioms and what is meant by the postulates? These axioms and the postulates are written again in the Euclid book, which is nothing but the elements. In that book, the elements, Euclid has written some of the axioms and some of the postulates. So what is meant by the axioms? Axioms are nothing but the universal truths. That means here in mathematics some of the definitions will be there. For those definitions there is no need to prove here. So we have to take those statements as granted. For that statements there is no proof. So the type of statements we call it as an axioms and the postulates. So if you consider an example, let us consider these two lines here. These two lines are parallel. By seeing itself you can say that these two lines are parallel. Why? Is there any proof for this one? There is no proof here. How do you say these two lines are parallel? You can say it here. If you extend this line in this direction, arrow marks indicates that this line goes on like this. Again, if you extend this line in this direction, it will not intersect these two lines at any point. So we can say that these two lines are parallel. Like that we can define what is meant by the parallel lines, but we cannot prove this one. So this is nothing but the axiom. What are the axioms? Axioms are nothing but the universal truths and it does not have any proof. We have to take those statements as granted in the mathematics. Such type of statements we call it as an axioms and postulates. So here I am saying here what are the axioms and the postulates, which are nothing but the universal truths which does not have any proof. So what is the difference between the axioms and the postulates? So here axioms are nothing but the universal truths and it does not have any proof. Similarly here postulates are also the universal truths and it does not have any proof. So what is the difference between these two? So here axioms, which are the universal truths and it does not have any proof, but it is in the case of the postulates it is related only regarding to the geometry. In the geometry itself, so here you need to consider the statements which are applicable in the terms of the geometry, then only we can say that it is a postulates. So in case of the axiom you can take any branch of mathematics, whether it may be algebra or you can take it in the science, in any branch you can take it. So this is the difference between in any branch of science. This is the difference between the axioms and the postulates. What is meant by the axioms? Axioms are nothing but the universal truth and it does not have any proof and we have to take those statements as granted and it is applicable to any branch of the science. So similarly what are the postulates? Postulates are nothing but again they are the universal truths and it does not have any proof and we have to take them as granted and it regards particular to the geometry. This is the difference between the axioms and the postulates. Now see here, what are the axioms that are there in the book Elements? So what are the axioms are written by the great mathematician Euclid. Now we are going to learn that one. So here the axioms. So here Euclid had defined some of the axioms. Let us define those axioms in this session. The first axiom, what he said here, things which are equal to the same things are equal to one another. So here, what is the first axiom he told here? Things which are equal to the same things are equal to one another. This is the first axiom he told. So what he is saying here, things which are equal to the same things are equal to one another. And it is an axiom. Clearly you can see that this statement is applicable to any branch of the science. we are equating the same thing to different things. So that what we are saying here, those two things are equal. What are those two things? Which is nothing but B and C. So if this will happen, then we can say that B is equal to C. This is the meaning of this axiom. So what is the first axiom they are saying here? You know that if A is equal to B and A is equal to C, clearly you can say that B is equal to C. Is there any need to prove this one? There is no need to prove this one. So he said that it is an axiom and it is applicable to any branch of the science. So here, what is the first axiom? Things which are equal to the same things are equal to one another. That means here, if you consider A is equal to B and A is equal to C, then we can say that B is equal to C. Clearly, by seeing itself, you are saying here, we are not proving anything, so we can say that it is an axiom. Now, see the second one. If equals. That means here you need to take here two equal values. Let us consider here 1 is equal to 1. You know that 1 is equal to 1 because those are equal. If equals are added to the equals, that means here you need to add one number such that you need to add the same number in this side. So here let us add here plus 2 and here plus 2. So what they are saying here, if equals are added to the equals, the wholes are equal. What is the meaning of wholes? The result. So here what is the result you are getting here? You are getting here 3 is equal to 3. Right? So what we have done here, we have took two numbers such that those two numbers are equal. And after that we have added one number such that we have added the same number on both sides. It means that if equals are added to the equals, what you are getting? The result is equal. The wholes are equal. It is applicable to any branch of science. So we can say that. And for this also there is no proof, right? Here we have took two equal values and we have added two equal values so that we got the result as same. Is there any need to prove this one? There is no need since they said that it is an axiom. Now see the next one. If the next one is nothing but if equals are subtracted from the equals, the remainders are equals. So write it here. What is the third axiom? If equals are subtracted from the equals, the remainders are equal. So here, what is the meaning of this axiom? Similarly here, for this also there is no need, there is no proof here. Just by taking the numbers, by taking the help of the numbers, we are solving this one. So here what they are saying here, if equals are subtracted from the equals, the remainders are equals. That means here you need to consider two equal numbers and you need to subtract equal numbers from that equal numbers so that what you are getting the remainder, that is the equal. Let us consider for example here. You know that 3 is equal to 3. Right? We are taking the equal numbers and after that what they have said, you have to subtract the equal numbers. So let us subtract here 1 and here 1. So if equals are subtracted from the equals, what they are saying here, the remainders are equal. What is meant by the remainder? Remainder is nothing but what is the number that is leaving here. So here 3 minus 1. What is the value of 3 minus 1? You know that it is 2. And similarly 3 minus 1 it is also a 2. So here this is the meaning of this third axiom. What it states here, if equals are subtracted from the equals, the remainders are equal. That means here if you take two equal numbers and if you are subtracting two equal numbers from that numbers, what is the remainder you are getting, that is also equal. This is the meaning of this axiom. Similarly for this also there is no proof so that we are saying this one is an axiom. Now see the next axiom. cutting it, and what is the part that is left out here? This part. You can observe that the whole, this is the whole part, and this whole part is greater than the part. You can observe that this is a greater area compared to that of the area. So we can say that this whole is greater than the part. This is the meaning of this one. Let us suppose consider here one square, and I am separating this one. So you can observe that this whole is greater than this part. This is the greater area compared to that of the one part. That means if you take any object or any figure, if you are separating some part, that part is always greater than the whole part. This is the meaning of this axiom. So see the next axiom here. So what is the axiom here? The saying the wholes are greater than the part. Now here again once revise, what are the axioms we have just discussed here? Things which are equal to the same things are equal to the one another. That means if you are taking the same things, then the same things are equal to, always equal to one another. And the next one, if equals are added to the equals, the wholes are equals. And the next one, if equals are subtracted from the equals, the remainders are equal. And the next one, the wholes are always greater than the part. Still some axioms are there that we are going to discuss now. So here, what is the next axiom here? Things which coincide with each other are equal to one another. So what is the meaning of this one here? Things which coincide with each other are equal to one another. That means here, if you consider any two things, if you keep one thing over the other thing, just you cannot find any space between those things. That means they are coinciding with each other. That we call it as one axiom. So let us consider one example here. Let us consider this is the length of AB. Consider this length as suppose 2 centimeters. Similarly, I am considering one more line segment and I am marking it as CD. And again this length is also 2 centimeters. So here things that coincide with each other are equal to one another. So here what I have done here, I have took one line segment which is of length 2 centimeters, and similarly I have took one more line segment which is of length 2 centimeters. So suppose if I take this line segment and I am putting in this line segment, what you can observe here, these two will coincide with each other. So here let us consider this is AB which is 2 centimeters. Now what I am doing here, I have took this one and I have kept here. So what will happen? Again, if I put it here, this is nothing but C and this is nothing but D. And you know that this is also 2 centimeters. Can we find any space between these two line segments? No. It is coinciding with each other. So that what we can say here, these two are equal. So from this what we can conclude here, AB is equal to CD. This is the meaning of this axiom. That means here, things which coincide with each other. That means if you take any two things, if they coincide with each other, then what we can say here, those two are equal. Since here, this is 2 and this is 2, if you are keeping one over the other, we cannot find any space so that we can say that these two coincide with each other. So, since these two coincide with each other, from that we can say that these two are equal. This is the meaning of this axiom. What this axiom says here, things which coincide with each other are equal to one another. So, you can take one more example to understand this one. Consider here one line segment AB. Here let us consider one C. This is consider here this length is 2 and let us consider this length is some 3. length is 2 and this length is 3. What is the total length? Which is nothing but 5, right? If it is 2 and if it is 3, what is the total length? Which is nothing but 5. What is 5? Which is the length of AB. So you can write this one as AB. So what we can conclude here, let us consider this is AC, which is 2 centimeters, and here this is CB, which is 3 centimeters. I have separated this one. So here what they are saying here, things which coincide with each other. So if these things are coinciding, that means if you are joining this one, you can observe that things which are coincide with each other are equal to one another. That means here I am separating these two line segments, which is AC and BC, so that if you coincide this one, you are getting the total line segment, and you know that the length of these two is equal to the length of the total one. So these two will coincide with each other. That is the meaning of this axiom. So what is this axiom says? Things which are coincide with each other are equal to one another. Now see the next axiom. Things So this is the next axiom. What is the next axiom here says here? Things which are double of the same things are equal to one another. That means here you can write it here one example. If A is equal to 2B and if A is equal to 2C, right? So here what they are saying here, things which are double of the same things. You need to take the double of the same thing. That means 2B is equal to 2B. So here, so that what we can say it here, if A is equal to 2B and C is equal to 2B, and you can say that A is equal to C. If RHS parts are equal, you can equate the RHS part. So here we get here then A is equal to C. This is the meaning of this axiom. What they are saying here, things which are double of the same thing. That means if you take any two things which are the double, then you can say that those two things are equal. So what we can say here, things which are double of the same things are equal to one another. Similarly, the last axiom here, what is the next last axiom says it here, things which are half of the same things are equal to one another. So write it here the next axiom, things which are So here what is the next axiom here, things which are half of the same things are equal to one another. So here let us consider half of B and let us consider here half of B. Let us consider two different things A and here consider here D. If A is equal to half of B and D is equal to half of B, again you can say that these two things are equal. So here from this you can conclude here then A is equal to D. Right? What they are saying here, things which are half of the same things. So here we took two things that are equal to the half of the same things, which is nothing but half of B and half of B. Then you can say that those two things are equal. So we can say that A is equal to D. So this is the last axiom. So what is meant by the axiom? Axioms are nothing but the universal truths and it does not have any proof. We have to take those as granted, and after that, and it is related to any branch of the science. And we have discussed so many axioms in that. The first axiom is nothing but things which are equal to the same things are equal to one another. And after that, the next one, if equals are added to the equals, the poles are equals. And the next one, if equals are subtracted from the equals, the remainders are equals. And after that, we have discussed here things which coincide with each other are equal to one another. And here the things which are double of the same things are equal to one another. And the last one, things which are half of the same things are equal to one another. And we have discussed the whole is greater than the part. So these are the axioms which we have seen in the book, the Euclid Elements. In the going to discuss the cost list. From this session is completed.